Hey, good morning there, guys. Wanted to sip on some coffee there and share with you a quick little tip and tutorial on how to get your own MFR wood tree farm. And oh yeah, that right there, that's the sound of morning wood. And that's what morning wood looks like. So, as I come down here, quick little contraption that is actually pretty simple and easy to set up. You can actually get this going pretty early on in the game. Obviously not maybe day one, but relatively pretty simple. So, but you may have your reasons for having a rubber tree farm. One is going to be, well, I would say kind of obvious to have raw rubber on hand to make either plastic sheets, or you could of course smelt it and get of course rubber from it traditionally for rubber bars, so that of course you can make cables and things like that. So at any rate, without further ado, let me just go ahead and grab this chest here and let's go ahead and actually take a look on how to get this bad beast put together. All right guys, be right back. I'm giving you a quick little overview of my original farm that you can see down below. What I did there is a 13 by 13 plot of dirt, which is just simply, one, I guess you could say, block as far as depth is concerned. So what I've done here is I've done the exact same thing. I prepared another 13 by 13 area here, and I put a hole in the center, and there's a reason for that. I'll cover that in just a moment. But the glass and the cobble around it is not necessary. I'm just doing that to obviously kind of give myself a visual to of course block off the space. But what I'm going to do is have a magnum torch. If you can obviously make one, go right ahead. It'll keep the mobs away. I'm going to go down here into the little room that I've kind of prepared to facilitate this. I've already got 2 spot loaders in the corners there. You'll see that as I open up F9, or try to, there we go, that I've got my 2 chunks that this is kind of sitting on, preloaded. Go ahead and take that off. And here's the hole that I made. So I'm going to put down my chest with my goodies so that we can take a closer look at what we'll need. And here's, again, some of the items that you're going to need to basically set this up. Again, this is for a rubber farm. And again, you're going to be using the MFR rubber saplings to do this with the MFR rubber, assuming that your pack obviously does have Minefactory Reloaded on the pack. So I am using Unleashed on Feed the Beast. And again, if you use this as a standalone mod or whatever the case may be, you can obviously do this. You can obviously set this up as well too if you wanted to for other trees. And what I like about, if you will, this farm method is that, well, the forestry methods, you need to have fertilizer and water and all that good stuff. Here with this method, you won't. And, you can have this running all the time. So let's go ahead and pull out, obviously, the 2 goodies that we'll need is the planter and the harvester, but you will also need to prepare a turtle. Get yourself some dirt, some cobble. Hopefully you have scanned your world and got yourself at least a good healthy handful of stacks of saplings. I'm recommending some DSU, some deep storage units, but you'll also want to power these as well too. So you can use, if you have obviously an energy tesseract linked up and already ready to rock and roll, go ahead and use it. I'm going to use the MFR biofuel generator and the bioreactor, so that this basically becomes a self-sustaining system. And I'm also going to be using the bronze upgrade, which basically multiplies the radius, the seek radius, if you will, or scan radius by 5. So I'll of course cover that in a little second, because typically speaking, you will see the harvester and the planter are a 3 by 3 by default, and usually the harvester is of course on top. But what we're going to do, and the reason for the turtle, is to kind of trick the system into thinking that it has work. So the heart of it all is going to be the planter. You want to put the planter in the center. So I'll go ahead and now destroy that block. I won't need it. So what I'm going to do is, in a diagonal fashion, I am going to put down the, whoops, actually, that's the wrong way to put it. What I want to do actually is I want to put the harvester this way, and there's a reason for that. There we go. I want actually the hole, or where the produce basically comes out, to come out this way. And again, I'm going to cover that in a second. Now I'm going to grab my insertion pipe and the turtle. And again, I know that some of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, I am not comfortable with, turtles and computer craft. It's actually a pretty simple, script, and I'll cover that in a second. But you'll notice that I did this in a diagonal fashion, okay? And I'll go ahead and put the insertion pipes this way. And what's going to happen is I have the harvester, the jaws of the harvester facing out, and you'll see that on the turtle that its eye, or, the front of it, is facing, right in front of it. And that is for the reason of, well, this guy. So the turtle, more specifically. But I'll go ahead and put the cobble in. And what I'm simply doing here is I'm spreading the cobblestone around, so that what I want to do is I don't want any additional inventory going in. I'll go ahead and keep one for myself for the time being, but I'll go ahead and load this portion of it, this slot, which is, of course, the fuel slot, or what, item I want, in this particular case, the script to place. And then when I add the wood coming out of here, it's just going to resupply itself. Okay. At this point, what I can do is, let me go ahead and I'll grab 2 of these, the DSUs. And what I'll do is I'm going to have one coming here. Let me double check. I'm facing south. So I'll go ahead, and south will be an endpoint. And I'm kind of sure some of you guys are kind of already figuring out what this is going to start to kind of look like. So I'm going to grab the diamond pipe as well too. Diamond pipe is going to go right here. So here's what essentially is looking like is going to happen, is the harvester is going to grab the produce that obviously is above. In this case, obviously, it's going to be the rubber trees, and it's going to spit out, it's going to give me logs, it's going to give me raw rubber, and saplings. So I want everything to come out of there, okay, and then obviously get kind of distributed, to where they need to go. But you're thinking, of course, well, hey, these 2 machines, they do require power. Yes, in fact, they do. And I am going to use, in this case, the biofuel reactor and the generator. Where's the generator? There you are. So these are my 2 guys they're the only 2 guys that need power. So I'm going to put the generator there, and the reactor is going to go here. Now, the reactor is going to obviously be self-fed by the saplings, and of course turn the saplings into fuel, give the fuel into the generator. The generator is obviously going to now power the harvester and the planter. So that's kind of, again, the shape of it so far. I'll go ahead now and add the upgrades to the 2 machines. So here in the planter, I can shift click in if I wanted to. And then, of course, on this guy, you're going to go there. So nothing's happening so far, I'm aware. Patience. Grab some pipe. Now, in this case, it doesn't have to be gold pipe, but what I want to basically do is get these guys moving as quickly as possible, and I want to split, if you will, hence the reason for the diamond pipe, the sapling. So you can kind of tell already a little bit of what's going on. Now what I'll do is I'll have another DSU here. Okay, put this away. Let me grab one of the rubber, one of the saplings, and I already have a wood. So now at the heart of it all, what I want to do is I want to have the saplings come out the black side, and the rubber will come out on the green side, where the logs are going to be in red. So red, black, and finally green. Okay, so there's my distribution from the diamond pipe. So what's going to happen is the wood's going to come out here. It's going to resupply the turtle. Whatever, if of course, if it's full, then you have a second, valid inventory slot being, of course, the DSU. In this case, all of the rubber is going to be immediately stored into this DSU, and I can have a final DSU. Oh yeah, it's in the chest. Actually placed right here. So in this case, what's going to happen is the saplings are going to come, of course, down this pipe. It's going to refeed either the planter here or go right back into the reactor. And the reactor is obviously going to get, once again, power everything. Okay, so come back in here, DSU. I'm going to go ahead and grab the saplings. I'm not going to need you for the time being. I will need that extra log. So just double check. I'm facing north on F3. So I'll go ahead. Actually, I'm not going to open you just yet. And again, I'm going to double check. I'm facing east. So I want east as my in. Okay, and this is going to hold my rubber, if you guys recall. So now we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. What I want to do, since this guy's got already inventory, let's go ahead and create our file. We're going to call it startup, okay, in the event that our server obviously restarts. So edit startup, and while, whoops, true, do, I am going to turtle.place, whatever's in inventory slot number 1, okay? Then take a nap, let's say for 20 ticks, go back and control save, control exit, and now my file is saved. So reboot it, it'll place it right in front of the harvester. Again, there's no power, so it's not going to be doing anything. So this is going to run obviously 24/7. As you can see, these two chunks are already preloaded. So we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. All we have to do now is just basically add our saplings. So in here, the planter, you're going to want to add two, if you're doing the same 13 by 13. So let's go ahead and add 2.5 stacks into the planter. Okay. And I'm going to add the rest of this to the reactor. Now the reactor is now powering the generator. Okay. And now I'm on. So we're live. Holy moly, it's dark outside. It just became night. And unfortunately, this doesn't run at night, but this is now a fully functioning tree farm. And once again, if you truly wanted to, if you wanted to run oak as an example and get additional apples, you definitely, certainly can. But was not expecting it to obviously get so dark so fast. But if I come up top, I will see that all of my saplings have been evenly distributed. Matter of fact, I probably still have a hole here in the center, which, boom, covered, done. There we go. And that's essentially it. And from here on out, once again, this will be a self-sustained system. So let me go ahead and fool this, fool the system, give it daylight, if you will. Now this day, these trees unfortunately do not do anything at night, but during the day they definitely will. And come on, don't let me down. Of course, I'm doing this all on camera and make me look like a fool. But anyways, here's of course your 2.5 stacks of saplings all evenly spread out. And while that's obviously waiting for it to grow, I should have brought some bone meal with me. But again, bear with me for just a quick moment. Bioreactor is empty. Planter is also empty. Let's go ahead and eventually what you're going to want to do is fill this slot here and this slot there full of saplings. Reason being is it will, when the saplings come out, it's going to look for obviously an available inventory slot. So if, of course, the reactor's full, then everything's going to go right into the planter. Right now, I have this deep storage unit closed. I don't want it to accept any saplings as of yet because, of course, I want this to kind of generate for a little while and let it do its own thing. Um, and you can obviously now hear it above that it's buzzing, it's doing its thing. And once again, after the turtle has slept for its allotted amount of ticks, you can of course increase it if you wanted to. It's not going to really necessarily make it go really any faster, what have you, but you can make it go longer if it does have any issues or side effects on your server. But this is it. I mean, in other words, you got power. You have the main two machines that you need, and again, like I said, normally the harvester is on top, and what it's simply would be doing is it would be you'd have to pipe it accordingly and of course give it power to be able to do so, but it's a little bit of a trick into making it think that it has work to do, hence the reason for the turtle placing wood right in front of it so that it will harvest in that radius at 3 by 3 and then of course multiplied by 5 since I have a bronze upgrade on it to do exactly what you're seeing before you, which is of course to harvest trees, the leaves and the saplings, etc., etc. And that's essentially it, guys. So once again, if you wanted to run this with anything else or any other tree, you definitely absolutely can. There you go. You see the saplings are obviously now doing its thing. If we take a look here, we should start to have some rubber. The turtle should be full of wood. Well, it's consuming some, but not really. And we have a little bit of wood here in this deep storage unit. And again, this last one, remember, we didn't activate this one just yet. So essentially, guys, that's really about it. I hope this definitely helped. Any one of you guys looking to, of course, either get apples for your your biofuel, if you will, by using biomass or what have you, or if you just are simply looking for another way to get rubber, lots of it. Another thing you can do is, since you obviously have power generation down there, you can also put up a furnace, and instead of using a deep storage unit, in place of it, you can go ahead and put in a furnace, and you'll have instantly auto smelted raw rubber that will make you obviously rubber bars that you can use for cables, etc., 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 however you want to use it. So anyways, there's no limit to it. It's just realistically what I wanted to kind of showcase to you guys is the little quote unquote trick of using the turtle in addition, so that the harvester has basically work to do. So I'll leave, of course, that code down below if you happen to miss it. But other than that, of course, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you around next time.